Welcome to NBA Today. We're planning to start the show with highlights of Steph Curry's brilliance, which we will eventually get to, but we're starting with something that is much more important. A verdict in a courthouse in Kenosha, Wisconsin. Kyle Rittenhouse has been found not guilty of all charges against him. Rittenhouse, 18, pled not guilty after killing 2 men and wounding a third with an AR-style semi-automatic rifle. The mostly white jury deliberated for 3.5 days before acquitting him. Rittenhouse was facing a life sentence after being charged with homicide, attempted homicide, and recklessly endangering safety. The shootings took place in the summer of 2020 after a night of protests over police violence against black people in the wake of the murder of George Floyd and the shooting of Jacob Blake. The day after the shooting, the Milwaukee Bucks, they voted not to play an NBA playoff game in the Orlando bubble, and 3 games were postponed. So back in August of 2020, Jacob Blake, a black man, was shot multiple times by a white officer in Kenosha, Wisconsin. Blake was paralyzed from the waist down, and 2 days later, during a protest in Kenosha, Kyle Rittenhouse, he was then 17 years old, he shot and killed 2 men and wounded another, and he said he was acting in self-defense. He was charged with 6 counts, including first-degree reckless homicide. And then the next day, the NBA postponed 3 games, as did several other leagues. And in January of 2021, the Kenosha DA, announced no charges would be filed against the police officer. Blake was also not charged, and a number of NBA players reacted, including LeBron James, who called it, quote, a blow to the heart and to the gut. And then on November 2nd, the Rittenhouse trial started. And today, Rittenhouse was found not guilty on all 5 counts. So now we go to Kenosha, where we're joined by ABC reporter Rena Roy. And Rena, who I'm sure is going to be popping up in just a moment. Hey, Rena, what was the reaction when the verdict was announced?
Yeah, Malika, as you said, this entire country and this city has just been waiting for a verdict in this very closely watched trial. You mentioned the jury took 3.5 days to come to this verdict. So this has been something that's been a long time coming, since August 2020. That jury, 12 people, 7 women, 5 men, 1 person of color. You can see right behind us, some people are gathered outside the courthouse, right on the steps there. And you asked about the reaction. Well, it was a very mixed bag. We saw some people jumping up and down out of excitement. Others, though, they could not be more disappointed. And take a look at this video here from a short time ago inside the courtroom. You're taking a look at Kyle Rittenhouse himself, the 18-year-old, reacting to learning his fate. You can see very emotional, in tears, bracing the table out of apparent relief after he was acquitted on all 5 charges. The most serious charge carried a life sentence, but tonight he will go home a free man. Rittenhouse, as you said, claimed he acted in self-defense when he shot 3 people, killing 2 of them, injuring that 3rd person during protests over the police shooting of Jacob Blake last August. But prosecutors said he had intent to kill, painting him as an active shooter, wannabe soldier who provoked the crowd. So again, this is just a very divisive case that a lot of people have been waiting for the verdict. Again, just to recap, 12 people on that jury finding Rittenhouse not guilty on all counts. And you can see again behind us, demonstrators gathered outside the courthouse. Things have been very peaceful and calm so far, though. Malika?
So how is Kenosha preparing for what might continue to unfold here?
Yeah, so local authorities, they have just been urging everyone to stay calm, stay respectful, urging people to really just watch everything unfold on TV and stay home and stay safe. Right now, police say that there is really no reason to implement a curfew right now or shut down streets. However, they are standing by here outside the courthouse just in case things get out of control. 500 National Guard troops, they are also standing by right outside of Kenosha just in case things get out of hand. Malika?
Thank you so much, Rena. Really wonderful reporting, and we appreciate you stopping by. So several NBA players reacted to the Rittenhouse verdict. John Morant tweeted, he's not surprised at all, shaking my head, and Bam Adebayo tweeted, wow. So joined again by the panel of Richard Jefferson and Kendrick Perkins, and you all saw tweets from the players. You're both former players, but we are all black people. And so I wanted to make sure that we created some space for anything that we want to say here before we talk about basketball.
Well, I think that the scariest part about this, like, so many people talk about not being surprised. And if you live in America, if you know the history of America, you're not surprised. I think the scariest part about this is that by saying that he is not guilty, they are saying that everything he did was lawful. And that's the part that worries me. Like, they were trying to not paint him. He was a kid that took a gun across state lines and went and did what he did. And they are saying that that is lawful. So to me, that just makes it, even that more concerning that these acts are being proven that, like, hey, if this is what you want to do and you want to go into a crowd and you want to do this, then, a judge and a jury can find you not guilty. And I think that just makes the tension in these situations even worse.
Perk?
I mean, I'm just with all the other players. I'm not surprised. I mean, what we have been going through, it's just mind-boggling to me, and it's very disturbing that, it's not just a gun, right? We're talking about an AK, something that is very visible, that, you have intents or whatever the case may be. And to be honest, I really don't want to say the wrong thing because I don't want to lose my job, so I'm going to leave it at that.
I just want to say one thing. And I'm going to borrow it from MacArthur Fellow Jacqueline Woodson. And she said, "I'm heartbroken, but I'm not stunned. I'm angry, not irrational. I'm done, but not stopping." And that, to me, encapsulates so very well what so many people are feeling today. So take care of those around you. Check in and ask how folks are doing. This is something that is a culmination of so many things, especially in Black America. And there's not really much more that can be said. There's nothing that can be said that makes this any better. More NBA Today coming up after the break.